Obey a day, Wanka, 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 obey a day, yeah. Many that's not you to me, sir, young Palafa, yes, sir, none of you ever call night is happy, never should be cool on the gas, yes, sir. What do you bed in your party? Miss Bell, Lomotola, Jenny Vivinaji, see your baby, see I'm first, you can show us, so now obey a alaji. Wanka, obey a day, 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 Wanka, obey a day. Many me ex say guy when you're boy, but they me pass no jam hokoy. Eja hasalaman na the move, nyamina dom, mensa to this one, men yabe joy. Scan this over, yeah, me dignity. I'm in the keys. And I'm a packet me car, one on the kind of boyfriend, I told me acid all over my face. Wanka, obey a day, 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 Wanka, obey a day. Wanka, obey a day, 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 Wanka, obey a day,
Ahonfe hema mpomfi ahonfe hema mpomfi ai enne day memenda edu me pa chow eye wanka abede adwumadi so na waba no so what tuning in thank you so much for tuning in and enne the discussion no say yaba no practical yaba no ne ekoso yabra bom yaba no pani kese mu ai enne me mo efa matete ho baby a yetete ba eyeyie baby a yetete ba nyeye so ye wo baby sa e wo ho ana ene ye be discuss ni nyina na me kasa no na me show nkran so say me patch of our comments ebra ma me because our discussion we ye ba be ye nua baby na dia bre because ene dilemma oni ni kunu nti no ye go through ana ye ene me panelists me yi omadi a kire no me patch ma me kai wo say awon fe hima dani den nyina at least makeover and a bomb chidom minua obaya and check towards the end of the program no made the information ebe to dwa minua na yak so awetia na echi na me adma next week ebe hu na yak live and colored or no so or the alata seminar aye remedy alata soap ebo mechidom na ma me sankai wo se me graphics die me flyers bi abehu bibia a quick copy and a ye mame na quick copy de ye bibia from brochures from banners from BBR t-shirts over say a trum BBR me patro your 1900 East Dublin Granville Road unya ya friend 614-888-2201 ye beji ofeso ni anwa ye juma quickly ma men ko in fact ma men fa shout out ma menua ba RG Kits I na say mu photo shoot am ye na just ahonfe me ho ayefa ankasa na nkofo bisa me yie RG Kit enche me den information ebeto dwa in case we here photo shoot for babies maternal photo shoots mo can say pregnancy photo shoots sweet 16 to dwa now here na wa contacting shout out to me ankasa me dofo bright over Dubai shout out and madam Fubisu so no this is me man shout out Will Eckhart okay Bogo Blaine so na yeah introduce my guest and my panelist me panelist first not a guest but you see our my first and a panelist men kasa tintinti bia me amini abe ma Michael Asamoah aka Big Mike. Me akasa me de eka honti the Big Mike. Yes, and our studio has say ene ye be discuss your topic no. How are you, darling?
I'm good. How are you?
Ne be fa ni sa. Na papa we die. Oye me papa, oye me wofa. Oye me ma enana. Na enya me nko a o. Owo wofa asefo bebre. Owo ma bebre. Na sa me papa we say. Me nka ne ho asem tintintin bia. Na mum ade ba kwa me ka mo hu say wanyine na ne ho ofe. E na osanso do nyame adwuma eye say what na Columbus Hatcha the very first church na a friend African Christian Church ono na ye osofo nti ye ka osofo di a wa bini mu ankasa odo nyame na nyame asem so de odana abo ni say na afi wa start scriptures obie na no ano de mouse e no no ankasa no say oye assistant pastor nso ewo Ramsey Presby Church ai e na afi nso so na so fudie nyina echi me papa je say oye humanitarian ankasa ope odonipa na enu sunti no ode ne ho akodon adwuma bi eye case management and as a social worker or shenkofo a sebi omadwemu e ka omo kakra eye broni bekasa mental health case manager na me papa o hwa na ho keka ode wo adwuma nim ene na ho fama che say it's immeasurable, it's incomparable. Brofona ba aya ho fe ene de menum ti ansa me benti sa na be kono enyo bia sa mi anka sa me papa aye friend no yaw esrifi ana Mr. yaw esrifi enenne menene be sa discussion we say me pa cho ai over akwaba
ya ena
e over ya ena pa
so
o baby et
me
ya ena
ena Brian Mike or you cool, calm and collected.
Of I never know who no.
Michiano no, Missana me no. So yes, the first impression. The radius
second impression about don't worry.
The radius is what tones are from me. Now I did say near your back and be motivated.
Most definitely. Me da sense so pass me so me to nsafre buy na ye nua ma no bi Cynthia mo almost say go offer they are cheering you on go offer internet they offer our fans pa okay sisi amaye mi intro ye wie die na ahofe me ba be ko your story for the day no so as usual me kind of brofo na me wie a me de akotwi nso e de amaye no ma sebi brofo no e ho akwa atwe kakra e de amaye no enti no mechanic brofo se na mechanic no o say hello ahonfe, my husband and I are in a fix right now concerning our children and their well-being. We have been bumping heads on whether to raise our children here or back home, that is in Africa. Or say we have 4 children between the ages of 18 and 17. Our 2 teenagers have started behaving in a way that gets us worried, and we are wondering if sending them back home will be the best idea and help curve them into better adults. We are sometimes on opposite ends and other times we are on the same end. We have heard stories about people sending their children home and losing them to death. But then things are not all that cozy here too, you know. There's been advice from friends and family from all angles, making it even more confusing. Fact is, if we decide to take them home, it would mean that I have to relocate back home too. And honestly, I am not ready. But the kids are also growing, and if there's anything to do, it will have to be now. I don't want to be selfish in this decision making, but please, does any of our panelists have experience with raising kids back home or here? Can you please discuss this with your panelists? There might be a thing or two said that will help my husband and I in this our dilemma state. Thank you so much. Yes, yenuya baby na de asemu ya ba o say onene kunu. Na so onene wura. Omo wo man nine. Ne man nine no o say a range from ages worried, why you a bit confused as to raising the children well no. Na onene kunu de bia omo dwen say ah anaye mfa nkra yi nko Africa. Na ye de omo kọ Africa e na ebe ye ana say ye mo ntena ha ya ne entity omo na o si do tem bia na ne kunu ne na ya adwene say ye mfa mo ntena ha ya ana ye mfa mo nkọ Africa e do tem bi so ne kunu ne say madam omo betena ha ya ono so say mbekọ nti de so omo bampe het na omo atete nsense bebre say bi mo de omo makọ a na nkra na kọ wu ebi mo so say omo de omo makọ a na nkra na ye basa nti no ama na ye confused say say no which one is which because kromo hanso ayete no any bed of roses and some koso ankasa na we na in her confused state no say okay one ka bed adwumade die ye kasa ewum because dane den na ide nyansafo e betena ha say no maka asem na dane den na so gofo do masem ba nso so omunya solution omutimi make the right choices nti odwen won say ene ma me fa one ka bed adwumade so na me nua ba ho fenti na dwam na ne onfa emfa mana ne panelist nso enka ho asem na we no obi sa say ahonfa anyam bia panelist wo obi a o matete ma wo Ghana ana say Africa ana say wo obi o matete ma wo ha a o mo betumi ama me nya saasua hunu na nam say ensuro ahonfa de da ne de nyina no experiences no story bia de bia experience ni bi wo nti ensuro enno en Naija because you am no story ba ya because mo areshe mu wo me panelist and me guest nti na ye ba be ka ho asem nti me areshe mu nso e wo mu nti bra wa join me patch on subscribe ya yes ama me and na like so e ma me dwumedi patch on like wo Facebook nso a follow Revolt Media e de ma me na de hia me pa kese e your comment no because is say your dey asem ba e o tie o hwe na o kan so na me so me kan bi because me so me hia de o me tete me ma wa ha o na me so yeah sometimes em say me form ko em say me nanti story dey come as mama me to me patch also fa comment e fa beda me e wa ha si na nyina ye nka ho asem okay ye be call a discussion no so na me start e wo me nua be ma me nua be ma ene me wo fa abebo na ba so e wa ha me nua be ma me ankasa na menim se ne otie enso eja me ne de me ntime nka wo bedwam nti no me nua big mic me sha se afiu so
yo
menim se wo masusa
yeah
na o ma no so mo wa ha o mo ni Africa na so mo ni Ghana
yeah
but ma me mbisa in your ebia nso atete nsem ni bi in your in some tete in your raising your children back here ene wankasa won tete sa wo ye wo Ghana ye tete wo Ghana ti won tete e wo Ghana ne wo a wo tete wo ma wa ha say no a then impact and I say if there is there any impact and I say is there any influence e wo environment obetete akra wo mu ana on akra no
yeah see I think friends raising kids it's one of the hardest things like raising kids and like having a family itself and I said marriage right and it takes two right see a comparison as to like so obetete mba Ghana na se kroma no say me say me mama too quiet time into oja me ne me nua ketwa ma me ni nua ba me aunt into some part of it now like looking at my kids over here you know I feel like so raising kwalawa and so there is some confidence that they get good or bad like they can communicate their feelings to their parents regardless right and in Kwalana you're raising your Ghana no growing up like it takes you to get to a certain stage and so you be able to communicate certain things to your parents like you just keep everything like internalize everything right There is no.
Maybe I'm sorry to.
I said she has, or they have kids ranging from the age of 4 to 18.
8 to 17.
8 to 17, right? And the kids are 4,
Yeah.
right? In this case, no, you can say me did 17. I was still in Ghana at that time. I think I was in like second year of high school, right? So like it's too late, kind of too late for like for their teenagers, no, like at least like the one that is 17. No? But for Nkwalano, maybe they can do something about it, right? 17, you know, like the teenager and it's more of a boy and kasache.
And see, the drone or you
It depends. Also, like sometimes we judge certain things as bad, but it's not bad, right? Depending on the point of view, right? So about epekasa, or and I say will be like our confidence because in Africa sometimes we the confidence pride, two different things, right? And someone say, Branson, like I'm with some character traits you more, you know, like they don't like it and they think it's the solution is Africa, and I say, I'm say, Mr. I think I've been there before because like my son is almost 13 and I see his friends and everyone with the phone manner. I see like the things that he can do and like the folks that he talks to. So you have to like regularly like talk to him. Say, me say, me say. Like I think I've said this before. So like every morning, me embarrassed because I said, me shit, me shit. Me gay, me lesbian. Because like my drew time your chum started in school, right? So like because I said in the house, no, you are programming your kids. When you're peer bonds and not somebody is deprogramming them. So like there's this battle. And you look at Ghana as a choice. But Ghana that we knew 10 years ago, 15, it's not the same. The last time that I went to Ghana, your man Kwalani Biyano. Kuma for Cameroon. Exactly.
Okay.
So but don't be a catcher myself. I don't say you might be in Ghana. I don't say you might be in your yeah, like waste and power and anyone. Like you get it. And see environment be our pros and cons. I think that they've been able to raise those kids like to like the age where they are right now. No, for the adults, no. I mean for the teenagers, no, Empire Ball and then Kasache. For the kids, like the ones that are below 12, no, I would say whatever that the things that they did with the adults and that it be prompted these new traits in them, no. If you want your parents, if you want your mom, right? I'm not blaming them for like the teenagers. I'm saying they can look at the adult as a case study, and then like reprogram like the younger ones, right? As like for example, if the adults like if both parents were working and like no money time and mom and see, they're basically being raised by TV, internet, and then friends. This time, no, one have to sacrifice, and I said they both have to sacrifice. Maybe like find like new jobs, and I said like find a way that they'll be present at home, that like they can incorporate their kids into like their day-to-day lives.
Okay. Until no, not just all the opposite say it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because Ghana
but raising the children is based on the parents and not the. It's
based on the parents, the environment, and then the choice that the kid is gonna make. Personally, I believe, sir, I've seen kids that came from very good homes. Their parents were there. Both parents were very like normal people, like from the outside looking in, though. Very, very good people. They're very good people in the society. When you see them, they talk to you very well, right? So I didn't expect their kids to be like behave the way that they were behaving, right? I collect my wife said, like especially boys, no. In Bani the anime so it was the bad thing that would happen. Say, or bang him out of exactly. But remember, no, like say you couldn't say fentanyl on it, like those drugs, it can kill them, and that's a gang, right? And so because you can try your best because I think most parents like try their best, right? You can try like you raise them well, you teach them the things to do and not to do. But if you do age, like the 17s and the 18s, no, what can be bitching now?
Environment in a shape.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And anything maybe so thank you a lot. Maybe start the same question. Meaning say you have grown up of your mind in your chairman. You have grown up children. Beautiful. You can't change at 35 years old. Into onya small children or to us. Into of with your experience, any your experience, you were born and raised from back.
Me first two no. No more 10 and 8 and so no more.
Answer until at least you have that small experience raising a child. And I know say who your father to many. Because who facility brown or show more Ghana. Into my main bisa with that experience now when you know, I'll ask the same question and maybe say Big Mike. Do you think say environment has an impact in raising children? And then to add something little to what Big Mike is saying, if it does age of the child comes into play? Hey, me can bro for dodo. You show ye tree. Mama can a tree. Offer the mesam chen say, baby I wo, and na baby a titi bano, enyan sunsuan so, ewo akwara so. Na say nyan sunsuan so won so a ana nya, o de fa say nya emfie na akwara na di no. Enso ma kwan man sunsuan so no, ba akwara no so ana say day. Nti won ansa we ni ma me ana odi we na be attach.
Yo. Ansa na me ansa no. Nia mekanise so wa wo ne o ma ewo baabi a anasa o ne o mo ha madwen ehu hia sa odi ombe kofie die nti american sa ne se wo na nyankopon de mofra na chew and wa ma sa responsibility ne se tete won nti ehu hia se odi ombe kofie ese mo na ana mofra tete enso nyame adom obi wo hon mo tsania you cool calm collected mic ekan no obi wo hon mo abehu na utimi so mo ye abusua a mo ye papa ache se eso ebe wiase no na nkola no niam bi a wo mo ye no na fe ye onwanwa nkola tete nyame adom na nia all can environment yes enya effect ewo nipa so na emom se awofo no ye be mo be ye baako na man bombo heads se bia akola de ade ato ha na maame aka se yi free ho na papa nso aba na uye free ho onyi free ho nye den ene ade che se mo argue in front of the children hadwen entitem bia na akola no ya de a onim so oye ne anya anase oye bibia ne maame ani nye ho na ne papa ani nye ho a ne maame be support no enti e ba ne saa na time bia no omo ye enti mo ntie awofo no asem na emom se
maame ntwa no kakra enti na me u make key point bi wa ha na ye say enkratete no a collective effort wa ho eye maame no ene papa no se omo ne ti omo ho ase a na omo betumi atete nkora no enti impesa mema we deviate but na make say in this case no if it's a home where maame ne papa na enti a na che say eno no so
okay so a home maame ne papa no enti a some say na visitation bem niema pa nenso nkola ni bi strong well children na mom ade ese ohun ni se we study abofra bia senia otie
okay
obi ho no mo a o ka transe no atrase obi ho so abeka se transe ade ntina men transe say ye Ghana say ye fi Ghana de bia won tumi mie na no nka nanso ukran na no na ujina ho na but ontumi senia bra Mike ekan no Ghana untumi mie wa no nka se ana se na hye omu enti abofra no be hu se hye ni mu ana se wa trans na ne bu afu enti next time no obeya na adan se oye rebellious enti esese mre nyinara no uhu emofra no meba bema meba pani ɔno sɛ woka tena ase ɔbɛtena ase meba ɔtɔ so mmienu ya woka tena ase a
na ogyina hɔ
na wahwɛ wo saa na ɔyɛ nti ɛsɛ sɛ obi wɔ ha sɛ wonya abotrɛ ɛkyerɛ no sɛ nti na mpɛ sɛ ɔtena ase anaa sɛ nti na mpɛ sɛ meyɛ wei nanso mpɛn bebree no yɛa ne yɛse yɛka sɛ mese yɛsei sɛ wonyɛ deɛ a na obi akwadaa no kora tumi yɛ bold kakra na obisa sɛ ade nti na menyɛ me na meyɛ papa anaa me na meyɛ maame nea mɛka na sɛ sɛ ɔyɛ nti sɛ yɛnya abotrɛ ne ehu mmɔfra no nyinaa sɛnea ɔmo ɛte a ne ehu sɛnea yɛbɛtumi ɛne ɔmo akasa na yɛtumi ɛna adeɛ baako nso ehia bra mike kan sɛ bi wɔ ma awofoɔ no bi ɔmo yɛ adwuma bebree mmɔfra no mmra a wotete mmɔfra no deɛ kakra bi a wobɛnya no ɛm sɛ ɛsɛ sɛ ɔmo ani so na mowɔ fie na motumi ehu nea mmɔfra no yɛ ɛnɛ koraa deɛ ɛden paa challenge no ɛyɛ too much because wohwɛ ɛna awofoɔ no nso yɛn bebree ɛtɔ phone ama yɛ ma ebi wɔ akwadaa yɛ 4 years 3 years na ɔwɔ phone wonim bidi a ɔbɛkɔ akɔhwɛ ɛne ade ebinom deɛ ana ɔmutiri yɛ na ɔmo de monitor ato so na a regulate nea ɔmo hwɛ ne nea ɔmo yɛ nti ɛsɛ sɛ nea edi kan ɛsɛ sɛ awofoɔ no ɛyɛ baako ana nea ɛtɔ so mmienu ɛsɛ sɛ mmɔfra no nyinaa no wohu obiara sɛnea weakness ɛteɛ na watumi encourage na wa strengthen no ɛna nea ɛtɔ so mmiɛnsa nso ɛsɛ sɛ wonya boundary ɛma wɔn nyinaa na ɛno no ebetumi aboa ama nkwalaa teteɛ no ɛna nea medi kan yɛ no ɛyɛ adom ɛna yɛtote mmɔfra a wɔn tumi esi yie na yɛnya mmerɛ ma wɔn na afei nso sɛ memfa wei ntwam sɛ me kristo ni nti menim sɛ bible no ɛwɔ handbook for nkwalaa teteɛ yɛhwɛ bible mu a nkurɔfoɔ bebree ɛmɛseɛ sɛ Eli Samuel no mmɔfra yɛ mmɔfra bɔne ɛdeɛ nanso ne nyinaa no wohwɛ mu a ɛsiane sɛ wɔanya mmerɛ Eli na wayɛ busy tuwantumi anya ani amfa ammoa ne yere ama wɔn ahwɛ mmɔfra no nti mmerɛ bria no one factor ne sɛ yɛbɛnya time na afei nkwadaa no even though wɔn yɛ ma yɛbɛ respect wɔn na yɛtumi ɛna nkɔmmɔ nso a mo mpanimfoɔ no mo bɛdi no ebi wɔ ha awofoɔ no nkɔmmɔ mo bɛdi wɔ phone so ɛno nkwadaa no despite sɛ yɛawo wɔn ha na sɛ ebi a wɔn di wɔn fi Ghana aba wɔn ti twi no nti nkɔmmɔ a wodi no sɛ yɛ nkɔmmɔ bɔne a wɔn nso te na wobɛfo sɛ ebi a wei deɛ ɛnyɛ hwee ne nyinaa so sɛ ebi a nsekuro bi kora na adi a wokyerɛ akwadaa no sɛdeɛ edi nsekuro anaasɛ atoro bi a wokyerɛ akwadaa no sɛdeɛ edi ntoro nti ɛsɛ sɛ
suban a parents no yɛbɛdan ne
husband no
ɛno na yɛma ɔfa wakasa bebree a in fact nokorɛ pa na wɔka no meda ase but ma me nti me question no mu bi na answer no briefly ma me na me come next question no so me say nti no unsa wo kyerɛ home no sɛ na yɛn raising koraa no mama yɛ futo bebree yɛda ase ɛwɔ hɔ na environment no enya influence ɛwɔ nkora no so ana because sisi ano ye gina yɛn tete nkora no wɔ ha ana yɛn tete ɔmo wɔ fie nti no baabi a wobɛtete wo ba no enya nsunsuanso wɔ nkora no so ana ebi ana wo yɛ de obetimi ayɛ bia o te sɛ futo a wode ma ayɛ wo yɛ de wo sɛ o yɛ bia parents mo co-parents mo yɛ sɛ but baabi a yɛ tete mmɔfra na ankasa no for example America ha me tete me mai madam fu bi ɔno so tete ne ma wɔ Ghana no nsunsuanso bi ɛwɔ so ana
sa environment no and so all parents no betima control
okay ebetimi enya nsunsuanso
but
then wo betimi a control that means ebetimi enya nsunsuanso bone
any papa
enti
but who parent na say utumi obi wa parent bi ho no mo a parent teacher meeting
Crowd.
parent me oko
Okay.
but okwa na teacher ni beka akola ni suban akyerɛw sɛ bia nanso ahu sɛnea wobɛfa so ne na address issue no nti the environment no ɛwɔ nsunsuansoɔ na mmom mo parents no ɛna ɛsɛ sɛ because America ha nsɛmhu ɛkɔ so wɔ ha no ɛkɔ so wɔ Ghana
Sao.
oh yes me call Ghana ebu a me gyina hɔ din na mehwɛ ɛna nti ɛkɔ so wɔ Ghana
Unim sɛ first na ɛka HIV a na ɛwɔ amono ne paa but say HIV where ɛwɔ Ghana no because I see there was a survey bi a ɛkɔɔ so a ɔmo yɛ nkora between the ages of 14 and 21 Ghana nkora no between saa age no areho about 80% of nkora ɔmo between 14 and 21 that means nkora JHS any high school for nkora ɔmo wɔ HIV no ɛwɔ Ghana no nti say adwaman no ne abrabobɔ ne nya hankwan na ɛwɔ ɔno so submission no de maame and in fact na no power impo ɔsi nti no say ane de nowhere is safe baabi anye nti no yɛ sɛ ɔfa metie deɛ wo kana na ɛyɛ bibi saa baabi anye na emum ɛyɛ deɛ wo awofoɔ no wo bɛyɛ ɛna ɛbɛboa with raising the children big Mike my member of Sena membisa said with everything we are saying culture your culture ene your nkra tetie no you feel say eboa ana is disrespect in the face of a Ghanaian let's be real so two different cultures that is one example another example promo I say internet ewa ha bibia we say this year there's been a lot of improvements ewa Ghana but then entisa differences wo again obi de ne ba etete ne ba wo krom ha say ya ebia or the control no Ghana odo baako boga ba na ye jeje wo so na ye so na ye yese you know that kind thing no ain't no with the culture now we have back home and the culture now we have we feel say odo ba efi ha kwa eko Ghana that transition no ebeboa with Kevin Akrano for example my main story ya or say the teenagers I started misbehaving omanyini to adapt to her culture no omoko back home that culture no we feel say ebema situation na ye worse and now say ebeboa ma ebe slow or more down because they're two different cultures.
Okay. I think so, like part of this now, okay, so you know, we are looking at the parents, so like the only solution to this problem, right? So like the parents are raising colony, and it's neither here or there. Like so parents now say okay, yeah, but more than that's a back because of like you know, like the economical reasons, you know. It's just a Berman now ban be Ghana, Aquatina or like Omomba Ashoma. Like just to compare and then contrast. I know one, right? Time I go school when I said my classmate back home. Na your friend Mimi. Only a one who say now I'm in Ghana. Right? According to her parents, like you know, like the rumors back there was because I want him say na or kolabone. The man said in Ghana. Ghana almost never ma like ne aunt was very very strict, right? Until it to me it changed right now she's doing very very well. She's very prominent and
that's nice.
But then it's one out of a million, right? And it's very dependent on the person now who interested on bano. I'm and I said what parents no, right? But then to me and blame me. I'm not saying it's like ultimately like the parents are very responsible for their kids. They're supposed to like raise good people in a society, right? Now the issue is like about teenager when you feel they also like the kid also have their own like choice, right?
Okay.
To make. From there, it's out of your hands as a parent. I think it's dark. I said, "Hey, I don't." So it takes grace, right? Your uncle, your warm, like parents moving from maybe a Columbus into like maybe a double line. Think it's like good school, whatever.
Aye,
That's like
yes.
Dublin also have like parents put themselves through paying extra taxes.
Yeah.
Saying about things that their kids will mingle with great kids because by default we think that when our kids like mingle with this rich people, now like their kids, I'm gonna exactly. It's wrong. It has nothing to do with it's to me, it's not like neither here or there. Like Ghana, animal. My thing is I'm glad they've seen this and then they're trying to find a solution. And in their quest to find a solution, they think like they should take the kids to Ghana. But I mean, our advice is if that's what they want to do now, they need to like one of them, both of them, have to go there and then raise them. I'm saying it because I was left with my auntie and like the training was different.
Okay.
Right. I would not say her training made me who I am. I think it was by choice.
Okay.
Right. And but I will prefer they will stay here because I feel like in Kolana region one, they have a better advantage as far as like the things that they're exposed to. Not all of them are good, but then like exposure, it's a big deal. Okay, I said internet. Ghana, though like they do have internet, but it's very expensive.
Yeah.
How many people can afford internet? The kids also need internet to learn, right?
I know I should need common.
And also need common. BBI, like there are like merits and then the demerits, right? Safety measures that you put around it. Raising kids is the hardest thing. Why? Because there is no rule set like I call it person you be a doctor like any say and I say any say. There are good doctors, there are people that are doctors, but then they have bad character.
True.
You get it. So like we cannot like solve this issue. The only thing that we can do that as parents, we put safety measures around them. Make sure we raise them the best way we know how, incorporating like the word of God, like Pastor Kaya, and then making sure like we are praying for them consistently. Because like the things that they are, even young people, for the things that we are exposed to, there are sometimes we meet be on the internet, right? But then you find yourself doing that thing that you watched, and that's like hurt.
True.
Right, by default. Like our eyes, our ears are like Venice saying, like portals.
It's the entry to the soul.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like we are going through this. Like how much more kids? So okay, we are doing this, and then this is the route that we are going. So I see. And see, for instance, for me, I don't think taking them to Ghana and raising them here, changes anything. I feel like if there is a solution to this problem now, they need to like take a look back. So back double. They cannot take care of 4 kids. It has nothing to do with say it's a Columbus and it's a Dublin. I say wait. It's just like even for the basic like rents amounts, So when you baby like
Trying to be homeless.
Exactly. So and see like they have to balance it. And that's where the issue is. And I think sometimes one of us, whether the man or the woman, like have to compensate, make sure like the kids are doing what they're supposed to do. And some kids are very sneaky. What you want to do if you're an angel? Of course,
Hey, when you say Big Mike as someone okay. Me name say when you say me growing up no, we dey make my parents or more sure but growing up no, me many emre pan ofie. Enti I remember my parents would say ude when you emre dodo bibi kitu ebi na usu but me school not even I think so. My papa, who I really was, obesign bond with bibi sir. I say, sir, you know, see, all kind of true because I guess I'm a bad girl, but na me near ding was me. I wasn't a walkover. Yeah. But if you dear, I was very very soft. And dear bibi kitu be I see. They all kind of very very true.
Me that they are very complicated.
Complicated, yeah. You me that say, what I say we are can be being so no. Mama share from entity okay, I can environment no. On say Ghana. Those times so yeah ade na nya. Ye be twa to kakra. Ya bo aba kakra. Ya ye say, nyina eboa yo. Last time we say, hey Ghana na etua. Emei yetimi tua ya but eno so na esiesie
Asemo.
eno so na esiesie baby you know in their quest to punish you no it helped
Yes, so what
in a way.
What the enemy meant for evil.
Nani ago for dane no for our good yes enti ye wo Ghana no etia o kakra wo nse na edifie bi ahye o mu nti no ma bi wo ha untumi nye versus aha untumi nye saa nioma no like that because na wo Ghana wo kofre police no police no if you crash na fire service or no or themselves gonna now our friends say ma me never pay bu me nti bra no we to car ba o say the top petrol book but I had there on benya adaje so no ma ba nti ana sometimes e den kakra in punishing these children. I wouldn't say punishing but straightening them, disciplining them because I have more form of discipline no
grounded
and can babe can say me but because I would say yeah me who say measures be or how omode to her in raising children it works for them.
Yeah.
But yen at the same no be or how yeah work for abrofo and work for before but yeah the man nyina nti omo nneoma bi why works for them but enhye dan work for us nti no saa mabọ kakra na yentumi nye wa ha sei no of ama mbisa se oba ya ade e wa ha sei in raising them no then e betumi aya ene ebese se ode bakum ode abaetia akra nneoma ben na ebetumi e de egu akwan mu a se be ya emen yensem
Abrofa will compare woman. Omo espank woman. Minam catch ayi until 1995 I'm a bar no. Na if you time I'm a bar US no. Na place that me won nyina abrofum. Omo spank woman. And I sorry am.
Omo de den. Belt.
E be the belt, e be the e sheda aba be nemom at a certain age be na almost ebi obe spank obe twa kwala ba but odu age be there ontwa na ba or the casa and I say grounded say be a games no ya de no na waji games no na why grounded and I say be a ese say ko woni onamfo mo ko ba bi a wo fo say aha de winim sakwala kwa na anybody na esan ni awaye nti utimi ka kire nse o ma no enko nti eno se obi ka ana aha so se me ka se ya me ka se me ba to so me esa kofi me spanking no me born ma me born ma no se no afre police for nti police for no ba e no ombebo opun na Columbus ya ombebo opun na bibie na se obi afre na wan ana ose den ana mbusa awom ana oso no ana omo ka se obusa sa de asem o ka se na police for no ebusa se na wo ye den na ana se wepra ana ose da bi ana obusa se wo ye den ana okai na se chese nkonya kra ka obeka se
no no etuntum
efita onya kra ka obeka se mesai emo no
na kakra ka ho
enti ejina se ummo no ema
okay
ana se bia waka kira kola enye ana assisting age bi ho so a ehu hia se odi aba na bebo akola no
okay
ana ye nkoye ni aba no eyi no so ne ma na ye teenagers no one so kwa sorry a so omo ye mema or ye bema na say ya ompe elders ni na deacons and church members na omo ye well disciplined omo ye respect na nka omo ntumi problem ba kwa me wo ha no na me pastor na kra no na asori members ni bi ene me ma no eye free say especially me ba pani bema no omo ni omo maybe ano omo ni no ekasa ene omo kasa ene ade enti se ana yese was village say
it takes a village to raise a child.
And he said, "Yeah, what sorry, mo dear." As I said, you to me in yes, near first say, "Yeah, ne ebu hon mo yeah ferry." One problem, to one thing up, me who ade ba kwa me who oga Africa for mu ni say, obu ha ne ba e mental health. Obeka obedi hu komo na wanya amoa no onka na fe beda ne ana
stigma no
unfortunately but ubani betimi anya amoa asa se otimeka ana ne etoso mienu ne ba ya de na anya na wakata so so ubetumi ene obi a wo trust no ana wo sofo ana elders ni bia oye no ubetimi no omo share se omo fra kola no minim se kola bi wo ha Roma Nigeria for Liberia for na South Africa nti mini nkola no ekasa buze within na omoja nti o find time ene omo hu obi hu ana se Ghana community ni mu kra na onim obi a oye to say Uncle Mike ne Ernest set on your friend ena Kumasi say omo ebia ba omo esan ni omo yenti
ma wrong example
any wrong example to me look that's by say omo ani so ehye ni ade no ebetimi ama omo ne enkola no abondo na omo
the realities of life
directive
okay
enti esese omo obi boa
okay na dey say offer we dey na say working so na e ka no so say ene yen society no ho yen churches yen organizations ni ade no omo nye programs I no so ebe bie kwan ama enkra no so for example to say the woka church asemi say ebi wo ho a wo church nim you don't even know ejuma obi ye you don't even know who can help your child for ebi a oba mental health and you be akekenane ne ba ko but then if the church is not organizing programs, if the church doesn't have things in place, who is the best person to talk to? Na akoye nsempi. Nti na just say mitie de o kana. Your churches no so na ye nyaya responsibility say ebe boaboa ye ho. See na ebe tete ye ma no. Nti ye njai embo parents no kwa so. Na tete ye ma.
Meka assemble kuntwam. Ayi ye youth almost 4 issues. It can be an agent say Bible, be a no preachy and kwana ye. But ye youth you say almost 4 issues. It be a relationship issue. No more discussing. Now after that, you know, almost conclude with biblical support. And as I say, almost issues, you know, say and sorry, no. Ye agent say ebia ye be kwa kobo mpa ye nkwana ye no nkwa na eboa say asori no etumi address
social issues
no, because I don't know challenge enkola na ema omutumi ya asoden no enti say asori so kwa asori anasa asori no etumi ya involve no more address social issues no say homosexuality ene no omo eheda ye seminar anasa omo ye say youth no when you discuss no omo discuss if you no say yeah empire but nyankopon so nyansa eni nimde a say yetumi de kyerɛkyerɛ na manfo aware
okay
na omutumi
medasi offer Big Mike, do you think we should enforce our culture on our children? For example, our language, for example, our food, for example, our way of dressing. Do you think, say, in raising children here, we should enforce that in them or not?
So in the context of what you're saying, culture, language, food, I think say they shouldn't lose the language, right? Because me, like I've been trying to figure it out, like how Mexicans funny to me, Indian funny to me, and
Somalia
funny to me. What is it about Ghanaians and Nigerians that we can't like to me?
Yeah, right. So you're brought from India.
Hana kachiro.
You offer brought from. Of my Ghanaian so big me kobo mani. Obi catch ne ba say hey go and
like one of the evidence that HL said we are Ghanaians, no, the language, right? Like our language is like the DNA. HL so we are Ghanaian. So and see, I think it should be like a must. Say we make sure that our kids that are being raised here, no, can speak our language, or maybe our languages. Because but for no, of course, school how there obeti. So me who for instance Somalia near I all kind of ne kromokasa, right? Doctor or kind of kromokasa correct. Now you know say oba brofo correct. So I say the issue with say be like enforces Saudi with me. I think say me bad boy no so no na otekakra onyi dey feel like I say ayere but oka ote just so ntimi nka, right? The reason why I think that it's really hard for like Ghanaians and I said some African parents to like teach their kids the language, you know. So in Kolani and I say we are amoka sem it doesn't sound right, so we laugh at them. Or na Kolana then on kebu. Na fair you see. As far as food, they'll be on a preference. I really don't care say be like chamo someone did jollof and not being one. I think that it's not needed. I think that if anything the African DNA should be so like we make sure that our kids do not become a menace to the society. 1, 2, if anything extra now like they understand our language, they can speak the language. They don't have to like learn how to write it, but then they can speak it.
Right.
And then make sure that like there is this thing about last time I meet here, I think it was Andrew Tate. I say like there are more like Nigerian doctors. Like Nigerians are identified as like Nigeria for any India for in this country. Like most doctors are Nigerians and Indians, right? And so like we again like Africans and as a Ghanaians should also find their niche. So like okay.
Yeah, me I'm more for that profession and I said
I'm not saying that.
There be so saying India for and it's true. India for Abeka say nyame sheda ma o ma adwen say mu na mo almost on a tire surgery and they are always successful.
Yeah.
And it's Oka say Ghana for your funny and nature.
We need to. We need to. We need to. But once like the focus on that kind I said, and the reason why I do have some I'll say a little like controversial. The reason why like we can't tell each other our problems, and I say even in the church, right? Maybe one of between the stuff for I could di Obama uncommon. Now if I acquire like the next sermon, but you don't preach here. You know, say as somehow na then or preaching. So until next time, right then about one thing, right? In her when raising kids, especially teenagers, no, I think so as parents, no, one thing that I've realized that we do wrong, right, is that we don't find the root cause. Like say, me buy your idea. I don't know anything yet. We admit, I don't know. I think I'm not going to study anything, but why anyway? So as I said, like, but if you want to decample, like in the course of doing it, it feels good, but it's still wrong, right? And see, I need to communicate to my kid, say like, what is the motive behind what you're doing? Like, what kind of like energy that are you getting from it? Like, am I constantly do like what you're doing, and then we can propose a solution. So we can actually like fix this like this thing. Like I think so. We need to stop having expectations for our kids. Like our when I say maybe like me son not me say me I'm a doctor, me member, but I want my kid to do it. Me member you. Next me person I didn't member you. And then when my son asked me why, I better so we don't know because one so friend is saying we in Kwetia at the bus school. I mean we are my question anytime member, you know. But that's not an excuse. Right. We should raise them in hopes that they'll be good people in the society. As far as like career or career professionals, whatever, that's their choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. When it comes to the disciplining children, when I said dear pa say also discipline cry, it will feel
both.
Okay.
So unfortunately, you experience a papa and a basana na mofra no esro papa no na afi but especially omunyi no minimobia ne ma enyi no ma no say na oni omo kɔ te say date oni omo kɔ abonten na omo akodidi na che say ho no na obusa omo komo obusa omo questions said there na ekoso wo abrabom mo say ebi ha efie de o infanis na wo de na ba abonten no na busa there na ekoso wo abrabom na oni wo share na oka na school boy we so peme and I say and I sorry we say say no bema wetie no and ebi wo so a yentie ne abofra no eka no obi na no a omu de fa wasem so me so na mom esase yenya abotre na yetie especially so omudu omu teenage years na na say time bia na say yetie na mom omudu omu teenage years na esase yetumi nya good relationship onye wa downfall na mom unya utimi man feel comfortable so no be share na na eno no betimi ama what we opener obeka kire ne ma say beka
de ekoso ma brabo bia
ana so a wa obebusa na ebio so mo school a bo modern ase parent teacher meeting no obeko na say ebi wo kra wo a utimi kofa utimi ko timi gi permission your school na only na ko di lunch and no obehu akrofo a around him so oni o call lunch chese ukọ ebia dano school aduane no to be different wa ko McDonald's and Burger King no ko to aduane na ne no na anase onim na danfo bia no to be aka ho na oni na omo ne omo te ho we tie nkomo a omudi.
Okay. Obi say it depends on the country. It depends on the country one is in abroad. America system no different from UK. Into no nipa na ka say ono de ohun ni say ono no kwa de onye no ebia back home any abroad na mu no or see it depends on which country because due to the different cultures no. Inti ofi say and also so no
well bibia gina awofo no so the way a mo be ye baako say even you say we a single mother cry near the and a single father just agina also send ya be relate enkola no bia ye different nti so hu akola bia senior tie
okay
and niam bi wo ho no mo esese unya boundaries mo ana it's a banisa utimi nya boundaries ni ade ma and I say ma you enye you now there be and mean what you say and say what you mean what can be no na fe aye o so da kra ana ma kra wa kan
o serious
it is say we are consistent and your relationship with them no so ehun hia es say utie wo na hu ne omo
nti offer
nti abrochire no say how say ye ho ejina mo parents no
nti offer if your parents no adwenye baako no menka say in short and in conclusion but if your parents na adwenye baako no enkra no enwie yi ana enko yi ana
say enkola no when America say yadom na mbom say moye baako a eboa moye baako a eboa ebu hankola bi ha omo ana say mu nye baako a na division wo mu a hankola no emotionally
yeah
so your bemo so your bow and then come out deep for a hwe
it is even more jaya ware mpo a
it's say more respect him ho and eni say oba no edi papa no ahun komo bone e kire emofra no ana papa no enso vis obi kan eni say even though say mon tibio kra say emofra no mu de mo ye back na mo languages are kasa mo beka no mo nkomo a mo bedi no say mo ye careful about it
say be ya enkra ne empeki bibia eye we offer aka offer we dey say wa bone tough am in short big mic and I say in simple terms and ebra ye nchi be ye discussion ebe we to ye nua ba ne fo.
Yeah, and see, in short, I think that location does not matter.
Okay.
It's more of like countermeasures that has been put in place to make sure that the kids secured and their future, it's in good hands, right? Once again, it's three factors, baby: the home, the environment, then the choice that kid is gonna make. Like no matter what you do, your kid has a choice to make, which is not your fault.
Right.
Right. In the day be me too for said. I think I told my son that at the age of 20, I'll go at the age of 20, if you're doing certain things that you know it is right, it's wrong. I'm not responsible for it. It's a choice that you make.
Because
because
18.
exactly because I've done my best to raise you the best way I know how.
Right.
And the thing, if I see say what you're doing is wrong, and then I tell you say it's wrong now, and you're still doing it now, the BCBAC me by baby, but like I'm saying, say the parents shouldn't we shouldn't put parents in a box where they blame themselves for the mess that their kids are doing when their kids are now like adults, right? They did their best. I'm saying so like to be a parent is hard. Raising family is hard, but to be a parent is hard because there are so many factors that come into place. We're talking about economical, like emotional, being there for the family, sacrificing. Like the hardest thing that anybody can do is to like sacrifice what they don't want to do, but do it regardless because they have family. And see, at some point, no, right? Parents should try their best and then like put things in place. But if once they know that they've done the best that they can possibly do, no, right? Anything else, once the kid is like 18 and up, and don't no, you can only pray for them. Like don't do anything extra. Like just pray, and then that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me da si bebre offer. Ubetu ye nua ba ne fo na ene waje fans pa Daniel Eje. Asi ye ene wo fans na doso. Na comments bebrebe no nipa bebre ka say in environment, so even though it has some effects, but not mainly, but our phone. Madam for be so say mo person mu hu or say me say many emre or say share muni ma mun baby so no Jackie o de ye mate ofa to ye nua bayifo o se na adwen aye ne ntanta ye mo ano na adwen si pi onko fie enfa ne ma ne nko fie na ontena ase
near my suggestion a memma ne say ne mofra ne tete no on ni kun no and our parents no a responsibility o de na kofia so na so aye den wo ha okofie kra wa akoye west minimum crofo bi a omo de omo ma kofie akoye west achire omo kofa no ba no ankwala no ayi krono pa ne niam bi a omo ye no na nya sam ketwa enti anase elders bi a anam sorry members bi a o wa so your akola ne obema members bi o ha akola we say akola no mo kwa sorry a akola no timi ne ebinum asore members ni bi eye free nti mpanifo na ono mo ye free no omo on country omo na omo draw closer to him.
Okay.
And so your ba so ha ompe ma na ebi ono animu ana akola no timi ne omo ye close no na omo mo
me da se me nua ba Sally o say ye titi omo wa America ha ebetimi a from time to time yen form nkofi na omo experience it both ways in and as omo Ghana so na ye with the means to bring them abroad exposure. Sometimes when kids are exposed to different cultures now more appreciate what they have into no say if we have the means yen both, which I think is laudable na.
Right.
Okay, madam I say I me panelists ne me guest say right here na say yes you're right in
language no so ya o mo nchiro
language ne some of the kamuchi no ne mo Ghana and all the languages that we know
before na brongo
you can now ofeni e manusia because eboa nyinya isa yo yedama say wa wo fie ojebre na hwa ahofehima o share big mic na share of fire and of fire de ngofo bi so be ever join ne ya omo join ne da enti me da ase so ojebre Big Mike thank you once again offer me da ase menim so you're very busy man but so I'll take your time out of your busy schedule now buy me ho don't see
That's right.
any me show you ho don't see thank you so much I appreciate you na hope wa wo fie so me da ase so ojebre me da ase for your comments for your likes me pa cho enye too late to share mame and enye too late to rewatch obi on share bia send the man no so nhwe bi send the man no so fa ne comment mra send the man no so fa ne like send the man no subscribe Facebook on follow baby bia Revolt Media me aduma next week ye be sen ahia ebo one I send ye ne da no now the mo fidie no so ato ha man me da so once again nyame nka ho and have a wonderful week. I'll see you next week. Bye bye.